Salut mittenand. Welcome back. We're now on to Chapter 11 of Beatrix Potter's The Fairy Caravan. Now, one more tale before the sun goes down. Come, Habitrot, tell us all of the spinner, her that you were named after. Habitrot, the sheep, drew her feet beneath her comfortably and commenced. Long, long ago, long before the acorn ripened that has grown into yonder oak, there lived a bonny lass at the farm in the dale, and a yeoman from Brigsteer came to court her. Her parents were willing for the match, and bonny Annot liked the yeoman well, a brave, handsome fellow, and a merry. He had sheep on the fell, kine in the byre, a horse in the stall, a dry flag-roofed house, and many a broad acre. For dower, her father would give her a cow and a stirk, a score of sheep, and 10 silver merks. Her mother would give her her blessing, but not without shame and a scolding. Now this was the trouble. 2 elder daughters, when they married, had great store of blankets and sheets, for it was a good old custom in the dale that all Menself lasses should spin flax and wool, and have the yarn woven by the webster, so that they had ready against their bride wain a big oak bedding chest well filled with linen and blankets. But this youngest daughter, bonny Annot, was both the laziest and the bonniest. Not 1 pound of wool had she carded, not 1 hank of tow had been spun. Shut thee in the wool loft with thy spindle, go spin, idle Annot, go spin. Bonny Annot spun from morning till noon, from noon till the shadows grew long, but it was later day to commence to spin. My back is tired, my fingers are stiff, my ears they drum with the hum of the wheel. Oh, well and away to Pringle Wood to meet my love. In the gloaming, she left her wheel, she lifted the latch, she stole away while the cows were milking. In Pringle Wood, across the beck, the hazels grew as still they grow, and windflowers and violets and primroses twinkled. Bonny Annot wandered through the wood. She knelt on the moss to gather a posy, and herself was the sweetest of flowers that grow. Blue were her eyes, like the wood violets blue, fair were her locks, like the Mary bud's gold, and her red and white dimples like roses on snow. She bent to the flowers, and she heard a low humming. Was it horses' hoofs on the fell road from Bigster? Trot, trot, happy trot, 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 trot. She lifted her head, and she listened, but no. She knelt on the moss again, and she heard the humming. Was it Bumblebee bees storing their honey below? She peeped between stones and mossy hazel stumps, beneath a hollow stone, beneath a mossy stump, and there, underground, she saw a wee, wee woman spinning. Hum, hum, went her wheel, spinning, spinning, spinning. Hey, bonny Annot, said the little grey woman, why art thou so pale and heavy-eyed? With spinning, good woman, with spinning. Spinning is for winter nights, bonny Annot. Why spinnest thou now, in the pleasant spring? Because I was idle, now I must spin in haste. Alack, my sheets and blankets are to spin. She told her tale and cried. Dry your eyes and listen, bonny Annot, said the little grey woman. Eyes so blue and tender were never meant for tears. Lazy thou must be, but I know thee kind and true. Step up to the wool loft in the moonlight, tie the bags of tow and wool upon the pony, bring them to old Habitrot, she will do thy spinning. Even while Annot thanked her, there came the click of horseshoes along the stony road from Brigster. Bonny Annot forgot her troubles and sprang to meet the yeoman. But when he rode away next morning, her troubles recommenced. Her mother, with a hazel rod, drove her up the steps to the loft. I want'st but 3 weeks to thy wedding, Go spin, idle daughter, go spin. Many were the fleeces and the bags of wool and flax, so many that when she took away a load upon her pony, the wool was never missed, not although she was made 4 journeys to and fro from Pringle Wood. Bring more to old Habitrot, thou shalt have wealth of sheets and blankets. Down below, under the hollow stone, there was the noise of spinning. Hum, hum, trot, 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 Habitrot, trot, trot. Little way made Bonnie a knot with her own spinning in the wool loft, yet she sang while turned the wheel. What though the thread broke and the flax was lumpy, still she sang and laughed while she spun. In the evening she stole away once more to Pringle Wood, riding barebacked on her pony. Lead him to the collied stone, up with the bags and bundles. Wealth for thy wedding, Bonnie a knot. She that spoke kindly to old Habitrot shall never want for blankets. Bonnie a knot's mother expected but little in the morning. She climbed up to that wool loft with the broomstick in her hand. Say, hast thou spun ere a pound of wool, or a hank of towel, lazy daughter? Wonders will never cease. Which of her sisters had ever had such yarn for the weaver, worsted so strong and even, or thread so fine and fair? Her fame as a spinner was spread beyond the dale. It came to the ears of a yeoman. He, too, had great stores of white wool and flax. Said her mother, See what a housewife thou art marrying. Surely she will fill thy linen press and deck thy cupboard. But Bonnie a knot hung her head and pouted her lip. Thought she, he will keep me spinning forever. The wedding day came. They were a handsome pair. The sun shone, the bells were rung, all the folk in the dale came to the kirk to see them married. The wedding feast at the farm was thronged and merry. The trenchers were piled with meat, there were cakes and pies and pastries, and jugs of ale went round, and Bonnie a knot kissed the cup. Someone knocked at the house door. The bride sprang to open it. At her feet upon the threshold stood a little ugly woman, a little grey old woman with a kindly crooked smile. Good dame, come in, welcome to my wedding feast. Bonnie a knot led her to the table, set chair and footstool and cushion, filled trencher and cup. The weddingers looked askance at the unbidden guest. They pointed and they whispered, but still the bonny bride served her, filling trencher and cup. The old woman munched and munched and munched. Now the bride's youngest brother was a merry knave. Hey, little woman, said he, why hast thou such an ugly, ugly mouth, wide and airy, with a long flabby lip? Whist, whist, Henry, said Bonnie a knot, pulling him. The little woman smiled awry. With spinning, my lad, with spinning. She wet her finger on her ugly flabby lip, made as if she twisted thread. Her thumb was broad and flat. Oh ho, said the yeoman, is that what comes of spinning? He kissed Bonnie a knot's cherry lips and tapered fingers. Oh ho, so that comes of spinning. The old woman munched and munched and munched. Hey, little woman, said Henry, why is thy back so bent, thine eyes so bleared, and thy foot so flat? With spinning, my lad, with spinning. She beat her broad foot up and down upon the flags, as though she trod the treadle. Trot, trot, happy trot, 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 trot. So ho, said the yeoman, who was very fond of dancing. So ho, Habitrot, if that comes of spinning, my wife's foot shall never treadle. No, no, Habitrot, when we have wool and flax to spin, my wife shall dance and sing. We will send for Habitrot. Habitrot shall do our spinning. We will send for Habitrot. That story, said Pony Billy, had no moral. But it was very pretty, said Zarifra the Dormouse, suddenly waking up. Danke. Thank you for coming today. Hopefully we'll get the next chapter out next week. See you then. Auf Wiedersehen.